Oh, it's time for Tough Love, Easy Love with me, Terry DeFrancisco,
and friends.
Hell yeah! Welcome aboard to Tough Love, Easy Love. I'm your host, Terry DeFrancisco. Episode 7, Tough Love, Easy Love. Episode 7? What the hell? Can you believe we're pulling this whole thing off? This podcast has been so fun to do. I'm so glad, thankful, grateful that you're here. It's been nothing but a joy, especially being connected to real people in real time, talking about real or ridiculous or silly or meaningful issues. It's just been such a joy for me. So thank you for the morsel of an idea to do it. And what it's become has been a real joy for me. If you're enjoying the pod, please subscribe, give it 5 stars, share it with more people, but mostly thank you for being here. We've already made it the top 100 comedy, interview, improv podcasts worldwide. I couldn't be more touched, and I just want to keep it going because I feel like it's fun to have real conversations with people in the world that feel, I don't know, meaningful yet lighthearted, silly yet grounded, whatever this thing is. I'm so glad that you're here. Today on the pod, I have my friend, and I know you're going to love her as much as I do, Hilary Buchanan. She's an artist. I know her as a comedic artist, also an artist in many other capacities. She's a designer. She's a poet. She's a curator of spaces. She has many other wonderful attributes that I'm sure come out throughout the podcast. An avid reader, a holder of joy in this wild life that we're all living. So please give it a listen and enjoy her and take this time to sit with both of us in our silliness. I will say, for the record, this is one of my favorites of the episodes so far because it feels playful and silly, but there's a lot of meaningful conversation in there. And I think that that's been happening so much with the people I've been lucky enough to have on the pod. I'm just so glad they've been on the pod so far. So hopefully lots of silliness to come. Lots of, heartwarming and thoughtful conversations to be had. That's the hope in this season. We're again on episode 7 of season 1. I'm so glad that you're here. And also, I want you to be involved on the old pod if you'd like to be involved on the pod. So, Tara, how do I do that, though? Well, I'm going to tell you. Number 1, you can go directly to our Instagram handle at Tough Love, Easy Love, all spelled out, at Tough Love, Easy Love, and submit an advice style question of your own to the podcast. Boy, we should be glad to have you there. I'll tell you what, we've gotten a lot of great questions, and some of them really are incredible sparks to lengthy, interesting conundrums on this podcast so far. So the more of these we have, the better. And I also just like hearing about your life. So don't be afraid to be specific. Don't be afraid to be vague. Don't be afraid to be anything. You can just submit a question to Tough Love, Easy Love right there in the Instagram DM. Part 2, let's say you just want to chat a little bit. Call it in, champ. Go to 614-929-5545. Yeah, give us a ringy ding at 614-929-5545. Yeah, I'd love to hear your voice. I'd love to hear what you have to say on a voicemail. That seems fun. The team would love it. If you want to leave a voicemail, we'd love to hear about your situation or the thing you're wrestling with for advice. If you don't want to leave one, you're a little more shy, you can also text that same number, 614-929-5545, and leave a message at the beep. Yeah, that's really it, huh? I'm excited about this pod. Are you excited? Let's get into it. Have a great time. Happy episode 7. Tough Love, Easy Love with Hilary Buchanan.
Solicit their change.
Yeah, I hear you.
Unless I'm in coach mode, which is what this show's about.
Which, hell yeah. I'm on your
Are
show.
you excited?
Yeah, I'm so excited.
You were so sweet.
I listened to Katie K's today.
You did?
Yeah.
Fun.
And I listened to Katie K's, Bethany's, Rance's. I liked her.
Well, hi.
Okay.
This is my friend, Hilary Buchanan. Hilary Buchanan is my friend. She is a gorgeous human being with a beautiful soul. She does performances here at the Nest Theater in Columbus, Ohio. She also is an artist all around, actually, all around artist, I'm going to say, in so many facets of different elements of art, in her living, in her hobbies, in her body care, in everything. I think everything about you is art driven. Creatively driven.
Thank you.
Do you feel like that?
It's the coolest and craziest thing to hear you say that because I didn't embrace being an artist like until I was very much an adult.
What was your like categorization of yourself as a kid or like a college student or that era of your life?
I fell more into probably, or self-identified more as like athlete, student, always extrovert. But art, even though art was a big part of my life early, I often say I categorize my brother as the artist immediately. Like he's a self-taught, he draws.
Okay.
And he's incredible. And he was a natural. And I think
because of that,
I was like,
why is that a thing that we do? In general, humans are so specifically driven to think if you're this, then I shouldn't. It's like point counterpoint is ingrained in how we behave with one another.
Yes.
Especially siblings or especially familial units of choosing or birth. It's if you're already this, then I should claim. It's like we all started playing Monopoly. It's like if you're the dog, then I'm the thimble.
Yeah.
You can't have 2 dogs.
No, you can't have 2 dogs.
2 irons, whatever the things. I can't remember the Monopoly. The thimble.
What else is there?
Whatever else. What else? Yeah.
And I think too, I have like, we were just talking about Enneagrams. I have like an achievement complex, I think. And so I also didn't think I was allowed to be things until I was the best at them.
Ooh.
And so
do you feel that in art and creative life as well? You did.
I did. I think
because athletics, it's more specifiable.
Yes.
To know that this is where I rank or this is what I can do and what I can't do.
Yes.
So I get it with athletics. I was athletically minded and driven for a long time too. And then when it turns into creative pursuits, you're sort of, you have to like make a conscious effort to put down the mentality of competition.
Yes, I totally agree. And I think I've learned too, like, yes, there's a craft side of artistry, 100%. But then the expression side, I think is what I needed to understand more as an adult. I went to a conference and I heard these 2 women speak. You would love them. Their names are Laura Camion and Susan Blackwell.
Okay.
And they have a podcast and like a project called The Spark File.
Okay.
And they help creatives like create basically. But I remember Susan Blackwell saying that she was fully creatively expressed. Like full, and I remember thinking,
what does that mean?
I was like, I want that. Like I want, and you could tell that she was. And like well, I'm getting excited.
What does that mean to be fully creatively expressed?
I think it means, it's probably like just full ability to create your art through yourself in a way that feels true to you.
Oh, okay.
And I think even though the craft is a part of it, I think it's like if you can lay down at the end of the day and be like, what I made was what I wanted to make and what I think is important to say right now.
Okay.
I think maybe that's what I think.
I like that. That makes me feel very, I feel called to that because it's in my brain right now that I think back on times where I've done professional comedy for a long time. I've been in this game for a few years. And I'll tell you what, that's a challenge because there's been iterations of comedy life where there's this learning curve where you do kind of what like an organization wants you to do.
Yes.
And that is part of the learning of like, how do I get on stage correctly? How do I present in a way that's palatable or can like rile an audience in a correct way? Or how do I hold the room? Or there's all these skills that come with probably like a more refined and linear creative process. But then after a while, you get so limited by that defined space.
Yeah.
Of how the show has to be in order for it to be successful, that you start to kind of rage a little bit.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be so, it's not even necessarily that it's like corporate or restrictive. It's just that it's like, if it's not this way, it's a failure. It becomes like, what? Why? And then you start to question, why can't it be something different than that? Or why can't the form suit what I'm feeling right now? Or why can't we follow what's bohemianly happening in a room or
Right.
so it's like you start to be more expansive and it doesn't have to be unprofessional.
Yes.
And so laying down at night and saying like what I made today is what I wanted to make seems like the only pursuit that an artist should want is like, how did I connect with the people that were actually there?
Yes.
Was it worthwhile?
100%.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
It is interesting. And I think like I'm a people pleaser. So I think that
Same here, Sally. I don't know if that's why.
Oh,
Why? I'm trying so hard to work on it. I'm trying so hard.
Know. I often wonder like how much of my being is just who I am and how much of it is from my childhood. And like I grew up in competitive gymnastics.
Mm-hmm.
So being like regimented and there being a right way and wanting to please my coaches, like I remember feeling that way very early on and feeling that rush of like, oh, I made my coach really proud, especially if they were hard coaches.
They liked it.
And it's funny because this idea of your podcast really resonates with me because I actually really love tough love. And I think it's because of all of that. Like it made it harder to get approval. And so it felt really good when I did. And honestly, I had really healthy coaches. Like I don't look back at that as like an issue, but I think because of that, I don't know. I still have that people, like I still want to make someone proud. And
well, you're very kind too. And you have a very soft, I mean, you can probably even notice just from seeing Hilary for a short amount of time here today or listening to her, like there's a warmth and a kindness that is innate in you that I really love to be around. And you're also something calls to me from you that feels familiar that isn't always in the art world, which is, I was just speaking to another person about this in San Francisco where I was on tour last week, that sometimes athletic driven people do better in the arts, but you'd never assume it because they're used to taking notes. Like they're used to getting feedback that is not ego protective. So it's like, if I say to you, hey, get out there and run another lap, you're not like, you don't like me. It's like not innate in sports worlds. Yeah. So it's kind of like, oh yeah, I should probably do that so I can hit the time better. There's more of a clinical embrace. The downside is that you don't always have the drive to seek like what's magical or artistic or like there might be another element that's missing. But the good thing is if you're kind of like, hey, I need you to run that shoe again, make it tighter, clean this up, listen harder, and make sure you're paying attention to your partner. They're like, got it, coach. Yeah. And there's a different drive that's like fun and satisfying to teach or coach or direct or play with even. And I feel that if I when I was in Chicago, if I got like a direct note from a coach, I was like, got it.
Yeah.
Because it didn't feel like my coach was mad at me.
100%. Yeah.
Which doesn't fit my personality because I am a people pleaser and I do worry about everyone else that isn't coaching me.
Yeah.
I feel like I can kind of assess the room of energy. So I'm always like, oh, they're mad at them and that person doesn't like her. And she like, I'm always kind of looking for how the room feels. I'm taking the temperature all the time. Yeah. Which I don't think does well for my my personality. I mean, like, I think I'm always kind of like, I can tell you don't like them, or I can tell that we're not good, or something's off, but it doesn't really affect me in execution. It's only that I can perceive it.
Yeah. You're just aware of it.
Same for you?
Yes. I think, I'm pretty sure. I think
She hasn't picked up yet that I don't really care for her. Yeah. But isn't that funny that I don't know why it does matter to me as a person individually very much, but when it comes to work or like getting the job done, it doesn't really affect me.
Yeah. That sounds really healthy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, like, I hope so, but I also think it'd be nice to kind of not care about how I'm received in a room, to worry about my worth in a room.
Yeah. And going back to art, I think so I'm working on a short documentary. It's taking me a million years.
What's your documentary about? Do you want to share that?
Sure. It's, the main theme is aging. It's called Age Appropriate, and it profiles my friend who's an adult gymnast.
Oh my God.
And
what age range are they in?
She's 48.
Okay.
And like badass, like she's my hero. She's my adult gymnastics hero.
Hell yeah.
But even that project, so my friend Anthony is my DP, my director of photography. Okay. And we've talked about the project multiple times. And I remember at one point,
exciting.
It's really fun, but personal projects are such a journey. I know. But he had to at one point be like, Hilary, what do you want to do? Because I'm already thinking about how the project's going to be received. Mm-hmm. Like what?
That's the killer of art is like, how does it look? How is it being received? How does this room feel? It's like, stay present with what it is. Yeah. It's really, I mean, it sounds probably maybe wild to people that don't do performance things. Don't know. But like, it's very interesting to have this skill of how does everyone in the room feel?
Yes,
and is that now toxic that I am aware of how the room feels rather than like blissfully stepping into making what I want to make?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a huge challenge for me.
Huge.
And probably, yeah.
What's your, well, I don't want to ask your goal now that you just said that, but what do you want to release this as a documentary? Do you want it to be out in the world?
I want to finish it.
You want to finish it? That's a good goal. That's a good goal.
Because I have learned I can be very pokey when it's my personal projects. Like I do creative work for work.
But you can tell them what you do day to day.
I'm a creative director at a video production studio. Mm-hmm. So I do a lot of pitching, writing. We do live action and animation. I'm usually on teams directing artists. I love my job, but there are deadlines and clients. Mm-hmm. So I'm always working within a vision that's not my own, which is so much easier than my own stuff.
I agree. Because you can see what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And when it's yours, you're like, well, what if we just...
Yeah. I mean, it could last for eternity.
It a little bit. Yeah.
I have another unfinished.
And the perfection element is there when it's your own because you know your desired outcome rather than the things that have to be checked off.
Yes. I have my other unfinished personal project is a short collection of poetry. And that one
great poet. Is a great poet.
Thank you. It's so close to being done. But it will have been like almost a decade. Like of this project when it started in my mind and to it finally existing.
What's the rush?
What's
the fucking rush, Hilary? Why are we rushing poetry? Of all the things that I can say with like a sweetheart to you of like, why are we rushing poetry? Like, listen to that sentence.
I know.
Isn't that wild?
Yes.
I mean, I know why we rush other things with deadlines in studios and things like that in our world that we have to deal with that are maybe not the average bear. But you all know, listening and watching, like there's deadlines.
Yeah.
In all elements of every job, you get it. Even in like being, even like rearing children and things that aren't classically corporate or whatever it is. Like there's all these things you have to like meet and hit and
oh my gosh,
it's too much. Like it's so much. But in poetry, like if we're rushing poetry, maybe it's not poetry anymore.
Truth.
There has to be learned and lived experience to make the poem.
100%. I keep saying 100%. Apparently that's my
100%.
favorite.
Don't you think it's so funny when people are like 10,000%? And you're like, is it really that much?
Could it be?
I'm guilty of that, by the way.
I know.
250%. Just so we're all clear. Exceptional. I hit the mark and then I doubled it and I added half. 250%. But yeah, 100%. 100% is also in the zeitgeist right now. People are always saying 100%.
It is. It's like on trend. But the thing I'll say about unfinished projects. So a book that I really like, which I think there's different opinions about Rick Rubin. However,
oh sure,
he has.
I mean, but as far as the craft and like what gets done,
yes. And I'm not a musician, so I think sometimes it's also easier to be like, I don't know that much about that. I don't know that art form. But his book, The Creative Act, have you read any of it?
No, I know of it, and I've meant to read it like 6 times.
It's fantastic. It's just like very philosophical, but he talks about how much your relationship with a project changes over time.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Of course it would.
And I will say that's the thing about the poetry book is I'm like, I know it's ready. Mm-hmm. Like it's ready to be in the world.
Oh, okay. So this is different.
This isn't
like, you just thinking like the project can cook and we can live alongside one another and see if it's like, I need to.
We're in discipline.
We're in discipline zone now.
It's time. So it's. But
so the poetry book will be coming out.
It'll be coming out.
Relax. It's coming out. She's ready. She knows. That's cool.
Yeah.
What if you were like, I've been reading a book, it's really good, and you're like, she's just not that into you. Or it was like, it's called The Rules. And here's the deal. Remember The Rules? Also. Do you remember that book?
Remember
you
The
don't?
Rules. Tell me
this
about
is not
The
worth
Rules.
it, but it's fun for us. The Rules was this book that came out in like probably, gosh, help me out, crowd. I'm going to say like mid-aughts. That was very like, if you want to date, here's the only way to do it. And it was like, she's going to say this.
No.
You should say, it was like the John Tucker Must Die era.
Okay.
Like that kind of like era of Girls Gone Wild. Very like, it was that, but it was an actual book that was like, want him to call you? Well, you better not kiss. It was like that kind of stuff.
Love. Great.
But again, what we're saying is Hilary's endorsing The Rules.
It sounds like LinkedIn. Do you ever go on LinkedIn, Tara? Please tell me you don't.
I don't.
Good.
I have an account on LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is a strange place because...
That's an understatement.
Watch them be like, that is an understatement. It is because, gosh, what do you say to LinkedIn? I mean, I get why LinkedIn is a worthwhile service for people that have traditional jobs.
Yes.
And I have held traditional positions at, like, I'm a professor or, where you should be on it.
Yeah.
Like, nonprofit fundraising, but that kind of thing. But it doesn't make sense for creatives very much because you're kind of like, here's the project I finished.
No,
it's not like the same.
No, it's not an artistic place, but it's nothing but rules. You go on there and people are like, here's how you do this part of business.
Hit these marks and you will.
And it drives me bonkers. Yeah, because I'm like, everyone talks like that and it's so dumb.
Let me tell you something. You like, without even meaning to, segued into
our question.
You orbited the question enough that this can just be the remainder of the time. Also, isn't Hilary great? I like her so much.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, so Tough Love, Easy Love. You've listened to some.
Yes.
I was just talking to someone else that I interviewed that now the show is out. Mm-hmm. So people are hearing it and they're like, I know how it works. But in case you haven't seen it or heard it, dear listener, dear watcher, here's the deal. Tough Love, Easy Love was pitched to me as, Tara, can you please give us advice? You're some weird ass lady that stands on a porch and says stuff to people. Yeah, I do. But also I'm a comedian. Yeah. And also I'm known kind of what we're talking about. Like I'm an artsy bohemian sweetheart that really just wants to hold people where they are and say you're accepted completely as you come.
Yes.
But I also have this little like gritty background where I am used to getting coached notes and I'm not resistant to that kind of coaching.
Yes.
So the tough love, like there's a little cartoon character in me. It's like, do this, a little grittier than the rest.
Yeah.
So our job on the show is I'm going to give you a question from a listener or follower. Sometimes they're a call-in. Sometimes they're a write-in. This is, I think, from a write-in. Okay. And I'm going to give you the question. And your job is to give easy love, which is soft surroundings about what you're thinking about that take. Okay. And then it's to give tough love, grittier take on the question. Okay. And then we determine if it's one more than the other.
I'm nervous.
Are you excited?
I'm excited.
Okay, good. This one, I thought of you when I saw this question because now that there's like a lot of them coming in, thank you very much. If you'd like to submit a question, please do at Tough Love Easy Love on Instagram, or you can call a phone line and just, you can text it. You can call it like old school, 614-929-5545. You can call that and leave a message at the beep. And if you don't want your voice on it, you can just text it if you're shy. Okay, here's your question. Are you ready?
I think so.
Can you realistically still participate in society if you get rid of social media?
Oh my gosh.
And then they stayed in the studio for 6 hours. This is from Ella. This person wrote in is named Ella, and they want to know the answer to, again, can you realistically still participate in society if you get rid of social media? Hilary, take it away. This is the easy love version.
The easy love version is you can probably better participate in society, I think, without social media. I say that with a soft voice so that it's easy. So I recently did a digital detox.
Tell us about that.
So I have done this a few times. There is a book called Digital Minimalism. And I really enjoy that book because he gives you sort of a way of doing a detox. It's pretty extreme.
Okay.
his version takes out like TV, like as much as possible.
Did you do this? Did you do that as well?
I did that once, but what I most recently did was like my own version, which was just no social media.
Got it.
But so I did a month without social media, like a couple weeks, like I ended it like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it is a beautiful thing. I think it is such a good thing for us as individuals to take time away. I will say, I'm not sure where this person is coming from. I don't know if they rely on social media for their job or are like super active, like maybe they're a creator. I think that there are complexities if you have a lot of ties to like your livelihood or I don't know, validation or things like that. Fun story. I love external validation. I'm not going to lie. And I get some of that from social media. And so when I wasn't on social media for that month, I started a notes app where I wrote down all of the compliments that I received.
That's a good idea.
So I have like,
that's a great idea.
It's a great idea. And you can like take, if someone texts you a compliment, like screenshot it, throw it in. So I just have this little like vault. Anyway, Ella, I digress.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Because doesn't it kind of feel, truly what you're saying to me feels that dopamine hit.
Yeah.
Trap that we all probably feel from social media is variant, like you were just talking about LinkedIn, which I guess is, some people really, really use LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Relax. I feel like that's also basically just the Facebook of corporate.
Yes.
And Facebook's outdated now, but like Insta, Snap, whatever the things are that you use, TikToks. I feel like there's a dopamine hit that comes along with social media use that is so challenging.
Yeah.
So having real people say real things to you in real life is so much, well, it's equally, if not more meaningful for me. I shouldn't say the other things aren't meaningful because you may never meet the person. But it's so earnest when it's done to your face and human contact.
Yes. And I think when you take note of it, then like it just, I think, sticks with you more. Yeah. Whereas like you said, yes, we get all of these hits on social media, but they're so fleeting and they're engineered to keep us in there.
They're engineered to keep, like quite literally engineered to keep us in there.
And that's, that's a little concerning.
Big time.
Yeah. Big concerning.
It's a small, it's really, it's really wild to think that we are dunked in these platforms. I'm saying this on a podcast. And I'm like, this podcast is because, not that you can't have a podcast by its own right, but like the demand for this podcast was due to my followers increasing, or like things like that, where I've been doing performing live comedy shows for 20 plus years and with great success, I would say, like lots of fun and joy and lots of jobs that I've wanted and stages that I've got to see in the world. But that all said, once your followers go up on a social media platform, the whole game changes. Like, gang, I don't know what everyone feels out there or what they've experienced themselves, but it's very strange to suddenly be like stopped on the street wherever you are.
Oh my gosh, I bet.
Yeah. And be like, I'm very thankful that people know me and want to say like, hi, I watch you. You're on my phone. Like, I see you, but it's also cosmically wild.
Yeah.
Just to kind of.
It is wild.
Just to be like, what? Like, I've never seen your face before in my life. I remember one time, kind of off topic, but in a fun way, when Rance and I lived in Chicago, we used to have this rule way back in the day that like you couldn't add me on Facebook unless we had shook hands.
Love
it was
that.
Like
I love that.
It was like my hard and fast of like, it was new. It was like a new thing. And so I'd have people add me sometimes that had like, that I taught or something. I'd be like, oh, I've only met you once, but like we've met and it's cool.
Yes.
This person came up to me at a show or at like a backstage area and was like, hey, all right, we're friends. And I was like, oh, we're friends. It's like, yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but like, I don't know your face. And they were like, oh, okay, well, we've met. And I was like, we've met in real life. Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I felt so bad. And he's like, well, I watched you. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I was in the audience of one of your shows. And I was like, that's not meeting. And he was like, I would not typically be this sticky about this point, but it made me feel like I had lost touch with my memory. So it was a weird thing of like, that's not meeting.
Right.
You watching me or me watching, someone else, parasocial, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be about me. It's like, if I'm watching Alanis Morissette on a stage, it doesn't mean that we've met because she's saying a song that means something to me. And he would not let it down. He would not let it go. Like, no, we met. I was there at your show. And I was like, did we meet? Did we talk? And he's like, no. Like, that's not meeting. So I started to get really worried about the way that we were perceiving these interactions with each other. And this was more than a decade ago, before it's like now what it is. It's wild to think that we don't know how to hold that or something.
Yes.
Like, what do you mean? It's like saying we're friends. You should remember me from elementary school. And you're like, where do you go? And they say they went somewhere across the country, but they're demanding that you should know them for your elementary. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. That's pretty extreme.
It is.
It's interesting to think about all the ways that viewing someone, and like you said, with social media, like how that creates just an interesting dynamic.
Yes.
Because even the month where I was off social media, I didn't know what was going on with anybody.
Yeah. What was that experience like for you, for real? Like, what did you feel like as a person that was like sort of floating outside of the bounds of platforms?
I really did feel more present. I felt like I was more present with my partner, with the people around me, with nature. Like, I just felt calm because I also didn't have an onslaught of things that I wasn't necessarily asking for.
So in real time, your body felt better, your mind felt better.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. Again, I've done it multiple times. It hasn't always, like, sometimes it's really hard. And actually, now that I'm back on social media, I'm hyper aware of how much I'm on it. Yeah. And I even downloaded this app called Be Present, which is like
the irony of it being.
I know.
I downloaded this app called Get Off of This.
Literally.
And then I click it.
Yes.
It's wild.
It does as good of a job as it can. You give it limits. You tell it like, okay, I only want to open Instagram 5 times today.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And be on there for 5 minutes each. Okay. So that's what I thought I could do. And
you wish.
And then after that, like, to get back in, it prompts you multiple times. It's like, are you sure? You have to say you gave up. You have to literally click a button that says, I give up.
Really?
Yeah.
It makes you say that.
It makes you say that.
I give up.
You have to give up. And it's humbling,
what is
to
that
say the
like?
least. It's fun. It's not that depressing because you just I just feel like you just drop back into it and you're like, it's fine. Like, at least that's how I responded today when I was like, oh, I've been on here 5 times already. Yeah, you're just like, I'm gonna keep going.
How much of you was aware of how many times you'd been on before that? Like, did you mindlessly click?
There were times.
Instagram 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Or were you, and you were like, I'm at 5 already?
I had started struggling quite a bit with attention at work. And I was like, I gotta make a change. Because it's like that phone is just so easy. And I don't like that. I don't like when it feels like I'm no longer in control.
Same.
You know, I don't like that.
I bet everyone does. I wonder if that's a universal quality, or sometimes when I'm having like morning coffee, I really try to have morning coffee every day and make it like a thing that is kind of sacred, quiet time. And I get so mad at myself if I start looking at my phone during that time. Yeah. It's like the only time of day I don't do it.
Good.
So, but it's like if I break it, then I'm already kind of like, well, the days.
It can set a tone. For a long time, I did no social before noon, which is really healthy and helpful.
That's a good rule.
Yeah. So honestly,
because you don't wake up like charged with
No.
Dopamine clicks and red buttons and what's happening with everyone else before you even know what's happening in yourself.
Yes.
That's like my instinctive habitual thing is like opening an app when I often wake up, or, seeing alerts or something on the front home screen of a phone or something. And then once you've done that, it's like, I don't even know how I feel yet. And I just found 6 pieces of information about some guy I went to school with, a person that's at work. I don't need to know this yet.
Yes. Right. So I feel like this is all good fodder for Ella, because I feel like maybe Ella needs to know maybe you can, maybe you can't, maybe there's a middle ground.
Maybe there's a middle ground.
Maybe you don't need to give it up completely, but maybe you can redefine your relationship with it.
Yeah, maybe your tough love is that like these like helpful hints that we have taken for granted of how much are we consuming? Why are we consuming it? That's my tough love. If I have to switch gears.
Yes.
Easy love is everyone's addicted. I don't know anyone that is not in this like horrible state of like just absolute panic and adrenaline spikes and whatever else is happening to our bodies all day long, every day. It's like, it's a mess. And I also am so thankful that the world has shrunk and we're able to communicate in the way that we can because of these things. We're like,
that's so
people
true.
I wouldn't know like what their kids look like from my elementary school. It's like, that's so lovely. There's lots of aspects that we all know are
100%
beneficial, but
1,000%.
if I could just increase that to 2,500%.
Oh, you mean it. You mean it.
Okay, good. The numbers we're charting. Good.
Okay, good.
But I feel like my tough love is, I think their question was something like, can I exist in society without social media?
Yeah.
And my answer is, I don't know. I mean, in a way, more authentically, the answer is absolutely you can. Like, can you exist as a human better in society in real time with another human without social media? Yes. Like, I have 90s nostalgia
same.
So badly.
Same.
And I'm sure people in our age range, up and down, are just so, we all pine for a day of like, I wasn't always reachable and I wasn't like worried about like if you went to some place and like someone didn't show up, you'd be like, oh, I wonder what's up. I'll probably find out next week.
Right.
Like you wouldn't be like, where are you? Like it's not so.
I know.
But I also think I've romanticized that era of like, like the waiting was hell. I remember like waiting for people and being like, where are they? Like you just turning into a skeleton waiting for people.
Or waiting to even just get online. My poor brother, our family computer was in my brother's bedroom at one point.
No thanks, AIM chat. That's insane.
Why? I'm so sorry, Clark. I'm so sorry.
That's wild. But I mean, like, you're like invading. There was only one computer most of the time in these houses.
And you were maybe on it for, I feel like it took forever to get on. You're maybe on it for like 20 minutes because then somebody needs to use the phone. So you can't be online and be on the phone.
But it was built in that you couldn't be addicted.
Yeah,
like there was like these safeguards. The 90s, this is why I'm nostalgic. It's like the 90s safeguarded us from being habitually addicted to devices. You couldn't be on
other things though.
Grunge. We were addicted to grunge.
We were addicted to
plaid.
MTV.
We were addicted to video culture. We were addicted to Kurt Loder's news. I don't know, like what people did back then. But I just had this. We went and taught for Cirque du Soleil in Canada.
I saw that. Incredible.
It was the best. And one of our contacts there was talking about how all the clowns. This is over a deep cut. All the clowns and acrobats, all of them were very young. They like skewed very young because they're athletes. And, some of them were like 18 years old, 22 years old. And they were all like, oh, nostalgia. They had a term called nostalgia. And it was everyone their age wishing they had been born earlier.
Nostalgia?
Mm-hmm. Isn't that the sweetest term? They're like, I said, what does that mean here? And they were French Canadian. And she said, everyone here goes to like record stores and buys them and like turns off their phones and just plays music and like sits around and like wonders what it was like to not be interrupted by a phone call. Or they like don't order food. They like go to a restaurant. Like they're like, it's so cozy.
I think you're even describing like there's so much like, maybe I'm just describing reality, like tactile.
Yeah.
Like you can experience the world like physically.
Yeah.
Or you can experience the world through a screen. And I mean, like you said, there's pros and cons, but there is something so rich about just all of the physical. I literally am describing life. This is pathetic. Get off your phones.
Have you guys heard? I don't want to like. no spoilers, but have you heard there's this thing out there that you can just live?
And there's like, you can touch stuff.
You can get out
can
there and just
hear
touch
stuff.
stuff. You can hear stuff. I feel like I went to a forest this weekend just for like 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, there are trees here. You can just touch them.
I literally, okay, so while I was on my social media break.
Are we okay?
Are we okay?
Are we okay?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think we might be okay.
I think we're okay.
But when I was on my social media break, I went on a walk with my dog. And we were just walking. And I started thinking about stuff. I started looking at stuff and wondering about stuff. And I literally was like, oh my God, I'm going to call these wonder walks where I just like go out and I wonder. And then I just started laughing at myself because I was like, Hilary, that's like, a freaking walk. That's a walk.
That's what walks are. You're right. You don't have to rebrand walking.
No.
That's true. You're right. Because like we would have thought, of course, there's time for our mind to wander in any activity prior to devices.
Correct.
You're right. So like this is like built in that like I remember going outside as a child. Here's the thing that would happen. My family would pack me a literal, this sounds like it was like 1920. Okay, just time out. But like I remember I had a strawberry shortcake tin lunchbox. Cute. I'd get like little like rolls of meat, like little salami rolls. We're Italian. I said little Italian salami rolls, little fruit, little grapes. You have a water. Go outside and sit on a swing. And I'd be there for hours. Like, you know, that's like the 90s, 80s in a nutshell, where you're like, I would sit there and think.
It makes me want to cry. I literally am tearing up because
I mean, that's
so
how
beautiful.
Rance knows this, my partner, but I used to go outside every single night after dinner and I would sit on a rock in our front yard and I would think for 30 minutes every night. Not by plan. That was like my habit. It wasn't like it wasn't Tara of now being like, I want to set a timer and I'm going to go out there and let my mind wander. It was like everything was so innate that you would go, I went outside and I would sit on this rock and I would like stare at the street and I would like look at the clouds and I would think about big ideas. And that's called sitting. That's called a wonder sit.
That's called a wonder sit. We are rebranding everything.
Yeah.
I had been reading this book by this polar explorer. His name is Erling Kagge.
Okay, different.
Norwegian.
Mm-hmm.
I love books that combine memoir and science. So it's like I get to learn, but I also
that's nice.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Because there's a human touch to it.
Yes. Yeah. Those are my favorite types of books. He also has a book about silence. And he talks a lot about silence because if you think about
irony.
Yeah.
Clam it.
Going to oh my gosh, you're right.
He talks a lot about silence. He can't shut his fucking yapper about being quiet.
You're right. But he talks so much about the richness of silence and how silent, like, I think a lot of times he says people think silence is like boring or empty, but it's like, no, you just described what silence is. Like you fill it like with imagination and wonder and curiosity. And like, could we not use more of that? Like our world could not use more of all of that. So
of course. That's so true. But how do you participate, thinking about this question again and bringing it home for myself? Ella, our apologies. How do you participate in this current day society without social media or like with limited, because I know that like my job, at least the way that I reach people or like the way that my team has to reach people is probably almost solely through platforms.
Yeah.
And that has been a big consideration as I wrestle with what I feel is ethical on platforms too. So like, what ones do I want to be on? What do I want to be aligned with? What does it mean to be aligned with one? Or can I escape that and know that we're all kind of like taking a little bit of poison every day in this way of like, we know we have to be on some to communicate with each other. And what are the exchanges that we're giving up to do so? And like, I feel like that's my constant, like, what's my ethical barometer of participating in blah.
Same. I feel that too.
It's so hard.
Yeah, because it's bigger than just even our own personal ethics. It's like, how am I connected to the ethics of technology?
Right. And then if you opt out, you're basically asking your friends to go back to the days of carrier pigeoning. It's like, if you're going to like, oh, I don't text anymore. Can you imagine if something like wild like that? If you're like, oh, I don't really use, you know, whatever you want to call it. I don't use this fake app. and then they're like, okay, cool. Then what's most likely is they'll probably make an effort to talk to you for a little bit in some other fashion. But like you may be forgotten on a group chat in something that you use. And then it's like, oh, well, that is hurting my actual life friendships or.
You have to recognize the sacrifices you might
work.
make. Yeah. Man, it is
so I don't
hard
know.
because I say that, but it's like, I don't know that I could ever fully give it up and feel like I was still connected to society. Like that piece of that question, it's like, well, sure, you can give it up. But your life is going to probably look a lot different.
Yeah.
And
this is why you're such a good person for this question, specifically because you have done detoxes and considered what happens if you do. And you also participate in some extracurriculars where you have to promote them, which is part of our world too, where, you know, if you're in a comedy world or if you're in a band or if you're in the art world, you're not only making your thing, you're now your promoter and your manager and you're, you know, for a long time in people's careers, that's how it is. So it's like, well, I better make an Instagram picture and I better make sure I get a poster up on this, or no one will know I have a show. And then your hobby remains a rehearsal rather than a show because no one came.
Right.
So like, as your promoter, you do have to participate in these kinds of things.
That's true. And I just realized in this moment, my day job, I got because of posting on Instagram.
See?
And so,
isn't that crazy?
Yes.
It's like there's so much to be thankful for, but there's also, I don't know how you can, I wonder if there's a way to like tap in and tap out, like what you're saying of where I know what it's worth and I know what it does, but it doesn't necessarily mean I have to stay.
I think that's the key.
Online all day or whatever it might be.
I think that to me is so important. If I could urge anyone to examine their relationship with social media and technology, like just know what your relationship is. I mean, in the digital detox that the author Cal Newport, I think is his last name, takes you through, a big exercise is you identify your values. And that's a big piece of it. And then you decide. What
would be an example of that? Like what's a value that you could share that's identifying one?
Oh, gosh. Oh, man.
And don't feel like this can be.
I mean, I value, like I would say I value. I mean, okay, this is a very like specific thing, but I really value uplifting refugee and immigrant voices. That's like a big passion of mine. And being supportive of that community. And if I say that's a really big value of mine, that's like very specific, but
that's good though.
Then I might say, okay, how is my relationship with social media related to that?
And is there an answer to that? Is there like,
I think there's, my first instinct is like, well, there are organizations online and
there's fundraising efforts online.
So it's like
and almost primarily probably.
Yes. They need to be online.
And they probably raise the most through
exactly
online platforms.
So it's
I would assume. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm going to make some choices of how I interact with those organizations. Something else I'll tell you, this is another tangent, but when I came back from my most recent detox, I decided that I did not want to follow people that I did not know. Going back to your story.
Oh. Meaning like at large, meaning
at
if you're
large.
Great.
So I've been
what was that like? Like getting rid of?
Very nice. Very nice. Because I think.
Oh, that's so interesting.
I think our minds change too.
For sure.
And so if you get to a point where you're like, you know what, I don't need, like, because I follow, going back to my passion around aging and the narrative around aging. I'm getting so excited. I follow a lot of like older folks doing cool stuff on social media. But then I was kind of finding, coming back from the break, I was sort of like, well, I don't think I need this right now. I don't think I want this right now. It just feels a little noisy.
Yeah.
And I want to focus on the people truly in my life. And that's who I need to keep up with.
Rather than the people that you don't have a relationship with in real
time.
Even though they are doing real things, they're not necessarily like celebrities. It's more that you don't have an invested interest in their the well-being.
And now, because it's like, maybe I'll change my mind. And I think maybe that's a good thing. If we're constantly re-examining, like, okay, does this feel healthy, the amount of time I'm spending online? Do I need to pull it back? And it's hard. I'm not going to act like, I told you about I'm failing Be Present app all day long. Like, Give up, give up, give up.
I've failed. I give up. What a mess. Yeah, what a mess is one of the buttons. Whoops.
Yeah.
What a mess.
I like what a mess.
What a mess. What's the point? What's the point? Another button?
It does. I don't care. I don't care.
I don't care.
Opting
out.
I mean, because sometimes it's like, someone recently, I think, described it as, it can be like psychological junk food. It can be.
For sure.
But it can also not be, depending on...
It can also not be. It's almost like the person is the holder. It's depending on each individual. Sometimes on this show, it seems like the advice is exchangeable between tough and easy by the way it's said. Meaning like, if I say it this way, does it sound gentle?
Yeah.
But this isn't that. It's more like the person is the answer. Like, are you a person that's able to hold this many personalities in your span? And it doesn't necessarily like...
There's no one size fits all answer at all.
And I had this friend in Chicago. I'm going to forget the number of it, but it's something that I've always really appreciated about this friend that I know that had a rule. This is wild. This is something I feel like it's up your alley. He had a rule that he could only have 30 friends. And that didn't mean like not acquaintances were cool or like castmates were cool or
I kind of love that.
But it was like I have 30 friends, and his reasoning was I can take care of 30 people well.
Yes. And
beyond that, I'm at my bandwidth. And this was way back when, before that was like sort of a thing that we're all curious about, or it was trendy to kind of consider your own bandwidth. Now it was just that he was like, I think 30 people is my limit to where I can no longer give enough.
Yeah.
That's like sustaining an actual friendship and healthily, where I'm like, I will show up to your wedding and make sure that I'm going to be this for I'm your best man. And I'm going to show up when your kid is like needing a babysitter. I'm going to run over to the house, or I'm like going to get your elderly parent their prescriptions, or like he wanted to be in acts of service to all 30 of them, and vice versa, I think. And it really was. And it's wild now to think 30 friends. But think about like when we were, people of yore, cave people. It's like, how many people did you ever see in your entire lifetime?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Yeah.
Can you imagine? I mean, when you lived in like, even like not that long ago, let's say 200, 300 years ago, how many people do you think you actually met in your life? I bet
it has to be
less than
so low.
100 or 200. If you lived in like a tiny town.
Yeah. You would probably know everyone in town, right?
You'd know everyone in town without a doubt. And if a stranger came into town, it'd be like, that's the news of the month.
And I think that's your friend, like what a beautiful lens to say, I'm making this choice so that I can care for people.
Yeah, it wasn't done out of any other resolve than trying to be an actual friend rather than friendly.
Yeah.
It was that idea.
I love that lens for social media too, in terms of like, is this a commute? Like, am I viewing this as a commute? How am I viewing it? Because what's fascinating to me? So I've never been on TikTok. I'm not like anti-TikTok. I just couldn't do it. I was like, one more. And for my perception.
It was the tipping point of like, I can't have another app.
I can't have another
app.
Got
it. Okay.
And the fact
it wasn't like Mimo doesn't know how to use scroll.
Well, Mimo does not know how to use I literally today looked up a tutorial of like, how do you get that eyes and mouth on a picture? That trend.
Yeah, I got it. I knew what you're talking about. Because
that function doesn't exist on Instagram, and that's where I am.
Okay.
But oh no, I'm off track.
Oh, but
TikTok.
When TikTok came out, it was not the thing.
So I'm not a TikToker. However, when there was that couple of days where TikTok was like maybe gonna go up in flames, I heard from many people that I love and respect who said I have built community there
for sure.
And I back to Ella, like if depending on what it's doing for you,
that's true.
Make sure, because if someone's finding healthy community online, and they don't have it anywhere else, like
this is where we got to root for social media, because I'll tell you what, if you're like, I'll speak from experience, which was not mine, but meaning like it would be now if I was younger then. If I was a young queer kid in a city that didn't know anyone else that was like me, and I could go online and be like, oh my God, I found people that are like me and I don't feel alone. Or, place that like outlier title on something and be like, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. There are BIPOC people in the city. There are people with disabilities, you know, in this other, like in the Bay Area. And you're like, I thought I was the only one that had Crohn's. You know, whatever the thing might be. It's like you may find an online community that actually is going to nurture you and serve you.
Yes. I mean, gosh, my mom is a 2-time cancer survivor.
Yeah.
And she has a couple Facebook groups that I know have really helped her feel like, oh, I understand that symptom now.
Yeah.
Or like now that she's on the other side of it, she's able to support people. Like,
and you can talk meaningfully and deeply quickly.
Yes.
Like it's not performative. It's that you've shared my experience and we can get to the meat right away. I have a disability and illness. So like it's sometimes I have these like groups where I can be like, okay, so this is happening. Same thing as your mom, where it'll be like, oh yeah, that's this. Ask your doctor for this. And if I had not been in one of those groups, I wouldn't even know how to ask the question because medicine's so, it's so challenging anyway, like having any language for it. So things like that are,
I mean, so
kind of irreplaceable. I mean, there's nothing really like that. They're advocacy groups, basically.
Yes. Man,
Ella,
I mean, a lot to think about.
I'm telling you what, like, I think that the answer here, again, this question was, just so I say it again, so I make sure we're not blowing it. How do you tell the difference? Nope. Yes. No. Can you realistically still participate in society if you get rid of social media? And the answer, I think you can participate in society.
Yeah.
In fact, I think you're participating in society more authentically without social media. Because I'm like talking to you right now, and this is better than anything else.
Right.
But do I think it like social media facilitates you getting to those people in real life?
It can.
Yeah.
I think I would just ask Ella, like, I want to know why.
Tough love.
I want to know why you're asking this question. And I want you to turn it back on yourself and explore like what is the why there? And is it because you have an unhealthy relationship with social media? You can make it healthy. I do believe that's possible.
I agree.
But if
you can really adjust.
If it's healthy, but you still don't want to do it, like then get off of there. Like,
because why? I don't go on Facebook anymore, and I have things connected to it, so people think I might be there. I bet.
Yeah.
But like, I don't really engage with it, and I like that alleviation of it.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of things that you can kind of.
Yes. You
limit.
just gotta figure out what relationship you want with it, if you want it.
So maybe the tough love here is, what's your relationship with social media and why do you need to evaluate it? Is it that you're tired from it?
Yes.
Or that you're like on it too frequently?
Yes.
Or is it actually draining you and your life source and you don't feel like it's helping you in any way? Then maybe that's a definite get off.
Yeah.
Like run from it.
Yes.
But if it isn't that and it's like, I'm on too much. I'm kind of like when I have nothing to do and I'm idle, my first go-to is what's on my phone.
That's so many of us.
That's just pellet stuff. And that is a challenge to stop it.
Yeah.
I think we'd all be, and I'm saying this as a person that I know you found this podcast through fucking social media. Okay.
Right?
I mean,
I'm going to promote
unless
this
you're my
on
friend in
social
real
media.
life and from live stages or like my high school friends or my elementary school friends or college friends or something. Unless you're that person or people that I perform with in town or in Chicago or whatever. If you're not one of those people, you probably found me from watching me on a stage.
Yep.
Maybe. But more likely, you found me from this old mug being on a, hey, what about this idea? You know, like I know why you found me. So I hesitate to say it's not a tool.
Well, I just don't think, we don't live in a black and white world.
No.
And I don't, it's funny because even like, as I was thinking about this podcast, I was like, man, I don't even know how I feel about giving advice. I don't really mind giving advice.
It's not,
but
I feel like it's very, I don't want to give advice unless someone asks me for their
100%.
2000%.
But I also am like, I don't know. I'm not in your life. I'm not in your body. I'm not like, so.
Your lived experience is completely different than mine.
Yeah. But if we said anything that helps anyone, like, beautiful.
I think that you're onto something really strong, which is evaluate the why of why you're there. And if it can be reduced, good on you.
Yeah.
And if you can do a detox, good on you. Because then you'll probably like re-add. It's like that. What was that thing that was like trendy for a hot second? The elimination diet.
Yes.
Do you know about, like,
yes.
where you like take all the foods out and then be like, oh, I am allergic to peanuts.
It gives you
actually
so much information.
Yeah, maybe it's that, but it's.
And then you decide what you want to do with it.
Yeah, you get rid of all social media, and they're like, today I'm going to add back. I'm going to add back LinkedIn and see what's up with Carl at Nationwide Insurance.
Oh my God, I love Nationwide. They pay
Oh
my
my
bills.
gosh. Oh my gosh.
They pay my...
But you know, it's like,
But that is...
maybe that's the reintroduction is like, well, you know, like this space doesn't feel that toxic to me right now. Like Instagram feels fun. I see people's like kids
100%.
and
their jobs. But it's true. Like even like I post videos of myself working out, and like I know for a lot of people, like hell no, would never want to do that. But I'm like, it's fun and it's my own accountability.
Yeah, I get it. Athletics. I get it.
So I'm like, and I just think, I'm like, if it entertains someone or makes someone think about lifting, like, then I love that.
Yeah, because you're kind of like, if you show someone what you are, then they can also be what they want to be. There's authenticity in that.
Yes.
And it's also for some, this is some people I really admire online. Some people use online as an actual video diary of their life, which is what it should be. It should be like, I don't care how you're perceiving me. I'm doing this so I remember I saw a flower garden on the 20th. Like I wanted to remember that. And it's like, oh yeah, that's what we originally did.
This is so silly, but I have, you know how on Instagram you can have highlights?
Yep.
I have a big highlight collection from when I went through Invisalign. And
everyone go look it up.
If you are considering
stop what you're doing. If you're considering Invisalign, thank you for sponsoring this pod.
Thank you.
If you look at her teeth, beautiful. If you are considering sponsoring this pod, I just want to encourage people of Invisalign. Look, it's just we need sponsors, and so what I'm saying is no, but yeah,
for
like
real. But
so you were looking at like the actual change.
It's so silly, yeah. But it's like I recently had a friend who was like, "Hey, I think I'm thinking about Invisalign. Can I talk to you about it?" And he's like, "I just watched your highlight reel." Like, and I'm like, "This." So
it actually helped. Yeah, it helped them make the decision.
And it's so silly, but it was my Invisalign diary, and yeah, that stuff is really valuable.
That's true. I did the same thing with my back surgery.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I had like a video up for a long time. It was like, I'm really scared to go through this. I couldn't walk for about 6 months, so I had a laminectomy and discectomy at the same time. And had to relearn to walk. So at first I was like, I'm going to like take a couple videos of my recuperation project or the process of that. And looking at it now, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that was me. Because I can see all the stages. Like it's an interesting thing to look back on. It was like on YouTube for a hot second.
How nice is that?
But like that was helpful to see your growth or like your evolution or whatever.
And then for it to now exist and be a tool for people if they want to use it.
Yeah, people that are scared themselves to try something.
Yeah.
Or to like go through a scary process or.
This conversation has made me feel, I almost feel like I needed this too.
Same.
Because I can get really charged at like, social media is really.
Me too.
But
I feel like so much of my life has been robbed by staring at a screen.
Yes.
And I hate that feeling. And it's me doing it. So I get mad at me. There's no positive, there's no positive feeling that results from that because you're not mad at like the creators of these platforms that look after our neuro programming to know how we'll chase a pellet of an alert. We're not like, ooh, I mean, we can be, but it's more like, put your fucking phone down, Tara, is like how I feel.
Yeah. What can I control?
Yeah. And then that anger makes me sad because it's like, well, of course you are. They want you to, like, that's how it's programmed to make you desire it.
It's complicated.
It's complicated, but I do think that there is worth in saying some of it's really good and some of it's really fruitful. And I do remember when it shrank the world, like we've been lucky enough to be alive when YouTube started, you know, like when YouTube came out, it was crazy. I remember being like, oh my gosh, like before that there was shout out. Do you remember E-Bombs World?
Yes.
Okay. Look, like, why does anyone talk about that? E-Bombs World, like College Humor, like all those things that were like really, really new. Where you'd have to like look up the grape stomping lady.
Oh my God.
But you'd have to like find her. Thanks. You'd have to like find her. You'd have to like find a link from an email. Like it was a different world.
Oh my gosh, it was a different world.
And then all of a sudden it was like everyone was everywhere and you could just like go to this one platform and everyone was in the same thing.
But you know
and that was cool.
You know what?
Here it comes. Here it comes. Everyone strap in.
Strap
This is going to be
in.
big.
Strap.
This is going to be big.
I have been feeling nostalgic as well, just for like I was looking at photos of my old apartment. Not a very nice apartment. Like it was pretty crappy. But I've been looking at photos. I literally was looking at photos and like getting really like crying, getting emotional, like feeling like
I love it and I hate it so much, both.
But you're like, my life was so beautiful, and we spend so much of our lives reaching for the next thing. Some of us, I think, even more so than others. It's like we don't ever even like stop and enjoy. We're always just like striving.
You're right.
And it's like, but who is it that said like these are the good old days? That's from something. Is it The Office?
There's an Office quote that's like, why didn't anyone tell us that?
Yes.
The good old days are happening right now. It's basically a paraphrase of like, this is the good old days.
And so I think like we can critique all day long, and we probably, we should critique, but also like, let's enjoy this for what it is.
You're right. I just wanted to share this with you because it's such a poetic line. I just heard it today. I was listening to someone talk about New York, and they said, New York to me feels like the only city that you can live in and miss at the same time. And I was like, that's how I feel about Chicago. That's how I feel about Columbus when I wasn't in Columbus. Like wherever your like roots or whatever the places that form you are.
Yes.
It's like I remember like walking around Chicago and being like, oh, my city, like almost sad as I was sitting in it. I mean, I was there. It was fine. It was, but like that moment, that also might be like a hypersensitive, highly emotional person kind of thing where you're kind of feeling the whole world at once all the time. And it's just like, I want to take this in. I feel like that's how I feel all the time anyway. I feel like that about life. It's like, how can you miss life and be living it as it's running?
I don't know, but how wonderful. You must you must be caring so much to also miss it. I don't know. I think it's really pretty.
Do you ever have those moments where you're like inside your own life and you think I better like hang on to this because this seems so important? Much.
Yeah. So I'm turning 40 next week.
Yeah. Happy almost be.
Thank you. And even that, like I'm excited. I don't have strong feelings about, or I definitely don't have any negative feelings about turning 40.
Well, you've also surrounded yourself with cool people doing cool things later. Which is what's there to fear. Keep going.
But it is very much like, okay, time is passing.
Time is passing.
Time is passing.
Yeah.
And there's a really dumb, silly metaphor that's like life is like a roll of toilet paper. The closer you get to the end, the faster it goes.
Oh my God, that's so true. About toilet paper.
About Charmin.
Can we just take a second? If you're looking for a new pod to sponsor, Charmin, the Bears. Can we talk?
We love the Bears. But
no, that's so
that
interesting.
phenomenon is starting to freak me out a little. That feeling of like,
it's wild.
Months
it's wild.
Are passing. It's almost
every year is faster.
I know.
I never believed adults when I was a kid.
It's freaky.
I never believed them when they're like, "You're gonna see like the years go by fast." And you're like, "Well, right now it's fucking March, and I'd like the school year to be over." Like you're like, "Oh,
you're always ready."
Always, and then but it feels like forever. And then as you have more years under your belt, you're like, "Wow, it went by fast." All this to say, Ella.
Ella, did we help you? Did we help you?
What if that's something how every episode ended? It was like, so the tough love here is hug your children, hold fast your friends, okay? Make sure you're taking in every moment, and if that's on Snapchat, so be it.
Hey,
and if that's real life,
if that's real life for you,
so be it.
If that's your wonder phone, if that's your wonder moment. Let it be.
I do think you can be really present with the people that you're with in real time without a phone, though.
Truth.
So that's my tiny
7,000%. I can't. No, I'm just gonna get slap happy too.
That seems like the end. But do you have anything you want to say that you have as like a upcoming project or something they can check you out on?
I said everything.
Do you want to talk about your Instagram handle?
You can find me.
You can find Hilary on all these platforms.
If I know you, I'll follow you back. If I
she won't follow you if she doesn't.
I'm the funky monkey, which I love that I was like got that hand. I've had so many people try to
Oh, they want it so
they
bad.
message me and they're like, can I have
They
your
want
handle?
it so bad.
I'm the Funky Monkey on Instagram. You can find me there. That's really the only.
Look out for a poetry book. Maybe look out for a documentary.
Just I post about all that stuff.
Look for some weightlifting videos.
Yeah, watch my.
They're not for you. They're for her.
They're for me.
Okay.
But you can watch them.
Yeah.
And go make some art.
Thank you for your friendship.
Thank you. This was so nice. I needed this too. If you didn't need it, Ella, I needed it. So thank you.
Whatever. This one's never coming out. It was for us. Okay, bye.
Bye.
You're listening to a podcast on the Roost Nest Podcasting Network, executive produced by the Nest Theater and Comedy Arts Center. Co-founded and funded by Rance Rizzuto and Tara DeFrancisco. For more information on the Nest Theater, go to nesttheater.com.
Roost.
Nest Podcasting Network.
Yay!
For a million years.
Same.